So TCS interviews, either digital or Ninja, you have different rounds, right? And soon your NQT results will be out, and soon you will experience all these rounds. So it is likely that, first we will be conducting digital interviews for another 2 weeks or so, and Ninja interviews will be following couple of weeks. So we just thought that let us start simulations with digital interviews. And so in our interviews, see, there is one technical round. Okay. So you can expect a technical panel, one person or more than one, who will conduct your technical interview. Typically, the duration remains 20 to 30 minutes for that technical round. Then comes your managerial round, where again, the duration will be maybe around 15-20 minutes. Okay. And then there will be HR round. Now in this simulation, we are not going for any HR round. Okay, HR round is like, you will experience once you are interviewed. Okay, there will be some basic questions on your academics, your confirmation on your progress and all that. Okay, what is more important is, if you are interviewed for digital, what kind of questions you can expect from technical panel, what kind of questions you can expect from MR panel. Okay, that is exactly what we are going to simulate for you, right? So all three of us, myself, Vishal Bharat, we have Mr. Hanumant Reddy, and we have Mr. Sai Kumar. So we all are senior, team members in TCS. We are taking care of our freshers training program. Okay, so we are only going to simulate, right? So Hanumant will be simulating as a technical interview panelist. I will be simulating as management interview panelist, and Sai Kumar, he will simulate as a participant, right? As if, he is a student in final year of his college. All right. And as the interview will progress, you will understand that, this interview, the technology which we are going to demonstrate here is most likely around machine learning and data science. Okay. So the questions you will see around these technologies. Right. So I hope, all of you have very good context of what we are going to cover today. And guys, see, yesterday and the day before yesterday, I have conducted one session each on preparation steps for digital interview and preparation steps for Ninja interview. Both session recordings are shared with you guys in our Launchpad community itself. So please look at that. All right. And once you look at that, you will understand in depth what is Ninja role, what is digital role. Okay. If you have some questions like why digital role has a higher compensation, you will get all answers from those videos. Okay. And just look at, how this interview flows. And I also recommended in those videos, those sessions, that you should always go for mock interviews before actual. Just try for a mock along with your friend. It is definitely going to help you. All right. So having said that, over to Hanumant and Sai. We can start with the technical round first. Then I will pitch in for MR round. And then we will have a feedback discussion. And meanwhile, guys, if you have any questions, please put on the chat window. So yeah, over to Hanumant and Sai. Thank you.
Thank you, Vishal. Hi, Sai.
Good evening, Hanumant.
Yeah, good evening. So to start with, Sai, can you brief about your profile, which includes your academics and your area of interest, and at the same time the advanced technologies where you are having expertise knowledge.
Okay, Hanumant, sure. I am Sai Kumar Somanchi, pursuing a final year BTech in computer sciences engineering. The areas of interest are basically the artificial intelligence umbrella. Under the artificial intelligence, I have interest on machine learning, data science, NLP related work. Okay, so basically I am learning these areas, which are commanding and a lot of demand around the currently in the industry. So I have a lot of interest created these areas. So and I am doing a couple of projects also in these areas.
Thank you. Good to hear. And another thing, I just want to know before entering into technical evaluation, just let us. We just want to know what makes you, impressed to opt this path.
Uh, uh, right, Hanumant. There are a couple of emerging technologies in the industry. The reason behind the choosing the data science or machine learning. So even data science, machine learning, all these comes under AI umbrella, artificial intelligence area. So the one thing is data represents a lot of value. So we can extract value from the data. That is one thing. And the second point is data is growing every day because of digitalization and computerization. Okay, so the smartphones are widely using 4G, 5G, and other electronic devices are widely using. And the one more thing going forward, if technology will change, methods will change, but data will always remain same. Today, my date of birth is same. After 20 years, also my date of birth is same. So data will be compounded, data will be added, but the existing data still remain intact. It will still remain the same. So the technology which apply on that data may be changed, methods may change. So I look this area is a very long run and promising. So I chosen this area, sir.
Okay, good to hear. Uh, can you brief about POC or the kind of projects you have worked on by applying these concepts of ML and as well as data science?
Uh, Actually, when I started learning these data science or machine learning, initially I struggled a lot because I don't know where to start the learning because it is a new technology. If it exists in Java or C, C++, we know the flow. But in data science, coming to the data science or machine learning, uh, I don't have any constructive syllabus where to start, where to end. So what are the things we need to cover? What is the foundation? Because it's completely a new area. Uh, Most of us in the student community, we have an idea. It is around data. We are doing some algorithms, but yeah, how to cover end to end complete syllabus wise, it is very difficult. So I started exploring YouTube videos, searching in Google, and open source computations conducting by the Kaggle and analytics Vidya. So and exploring the towards data science site and other sites. So slowly we started knowing that a bunch of things are available on the internet in a video format, text format, and a lot of platforms are there to practice. So slowly we start learning.
Yeah, good to know, Sai. But I just want to know one thing. See, when we are learning this way and conceptual learning and applications wise, so how you are showcasing your knowledge means how you are rating yourself. I mean, what I'm expecting is, are you participating in coding challenges platforms and are you evaluating and are you getting rating and where you are?
Yeah, right. Two things here. Initially, in a participating in a live coding challenges, I faced a bit of difficulty because lack of knowledge and other things. So what I did is initially I downloaded the problem and data set and starting building the model. And finally, I am comparing the winning solutions, top 10 solutions, and I set to myself as a benchmark. So how much portion I completed. And slowly later, I started participating in the live events also. And to gain knowledge formally, I am doing some external certifications offering by a prestigious institutions like 6 months course, 9 months course from IIIT, IIT Hyderabad, those things, so that I am getting some formal education and foundation related data science and machine learning area.
Can you explain the data science life cycle?
Data science life cycle, first two steps are almost similar to compare to our any other software project or something. Like first we need to frame a problem statement, clearly defining the problem statement. So what is the purpose of that, underlying purpose of the problem statement? Okay, so for example, suppose I want to analyze telecom customer data. So, so what is the input or what is the output purpose? Why we need to analyze that telecom customer data? So after that, we need to understand the domain, telecom domain. Just I take an example as a telecom. So why I need to understand the domain is, so whenever I'm working on the rest of the phases in the project, so if I know domain knowledge, suppose we all are know the education domain, so marks are generally conducted exams for 100 marks. If suppose entered 105, 105 is never possible. 100 is the maximum marks. So the domain knowledge we have, marks always 100. So 105 is not possible. So that is error we can easily identify. So that is very simple thing, sir. Domain we need to understand, so that that is the second step. And third step is the collecting data, which is more important in case of data science and machine learning projects. Here collecting data, our domain knowledge will be helpful. So here also there are challenges are there, how much data I need to collect, or whether the total collected data is useful and address my requirement, or I need any additional data, and the existing data, any data is not useful to the my project. So all these three things, one is data is enough, or data existing data is covering all the scenarios, or I need a new data. Or sometimes what will happen is in telecom data, suppose we are collecting across the globe, it will more represent suppose Asia data, rest of the continents less data. So automatically data set inclines towards Asia. So results, whenever in future if data is coming from Asia, results will be correct. From other continents, it's a problem. So data collection is very important. After data collection, pre-processing, which is also very important, because data collection is a raw data. So that raw data, we need to cleaning the data. There are different steps. If it's a numerical data, there is a different steps. If it is a tweets from Twitter or WhatsApp messages or something that is text data, that cleanup process is different. So there are more methods are there to clean the data. So because why we need to clean the data? Maybe column date of birth is there. Date of birth, someone is used day, month, year format. Someone used month, day, year format. Someone is used year in 4 digits, year in 2 digits. Someone used 25th May 2020. So this all represent the same data, but the formats are different. So and a few data may miss, and a few data may overlap in the 2-3 columns. So various constraint, various challenges are there. We need to address those challenges. That is the third step. Then after pre-processing the data, we will get a clean data, that is output from the third step. Then fourth step is understanding the existing data. So how many columns are there? How much data is there? Each outliers means if any data is extreme data or is there, and how to replace the if missing data. So we need to this is exploratory data analysis phase. So in that phase, we draw some visualization techniques. So to see the data, which data is playing more important role. Suppose one column is there, which is very consistent. Suppose it's something they represent Asia, across Asia. So the data is not changing, it will not much impact our output. So we need to understand the existing data. Fourth step is exploratory data analysis. Then fifth step is, here machine learning comes into the picture in entire this data science life cycle. The machine learning algorithm we choose based on our data, and we start building the model. So we have data, we have initially problem, then understanding domain, then collecting data, then cleaning the data. and finally using 2-3 machine learning models, because one model is not sufficient to compare the results. So generally we use 2 to 3 models. So we compare the results. So we divide our input data into 70 into 30% ratio. So for training and testing. So after model design, training the model, and in training the model, we check with our 30% data, like the output is coming properly or not, or whether we go back and changing some parameters and see. And finally, this is the deployment. Generally, we are as a in college, so we are struggling here how to deploy is a production or real-time, real-world usable, how to make it say usable in the real world. So deployment phase. So these are the various steps in the entire data science life cycle.
Okay. Thank you for detailed information. And to start with, let us take some examples. The kind of issues you might have faced. With respect to that, I am asking a question. You don't have enough data for your business problem. Let us say that you are. I know it's a kind of a new business requirement. You don't have any, historical data. So simply to say you don't have enough data for any business problem, how to overcome this issue? Because for your problem statement and for your technology, definitely historical data is very, very important. Now I am giving a situation, you don't have enough data. How to overcome and how accuracy, your solution is.
Right. Actually, many times when I started learning data science, we don't know from where get the data sets, or few data sets are locked. They need some privileges, or we need to pay something to get the data set. So that problem is there a couple of years back when I started learning, and at the same time, this data science is completely it is applying new areas. Generally, data is generating from the new areas compared to our traditional business areas like insurance or banking, whatever it is. Suppose e-commerce, something which are new areas. So sometimes we will not get educated enough data, or whatever data we have, we don't know the data is enough to build the model so that it will cover all the future trends or not. So this is very common situation which I faced. So one thing to overcome this is first understand the domain, so that you can uh, create some situations under which situations we get the data and compare with your data set, those situations are covered or not. Otherwise, we need to artificially preparing the data, artificially synthesizing the data. That is one thing. And already if any data science project is executed in that particular domain area, suppose e-commerce, something is something analyzing on e-commerce delivery. So already that kind of e-commerce deliveries data science projects are done. So how much volume of data they are considering, and sometimes the problem, the design, who designed the problem, they don't know what are the columns required. So as a data scientist, we can suggest some new columns also. So it is very holistic understanding of business and the existing data science projects. Then only we can sort out this issue.
Okay. So another one more question. We just discussed on data. See, how do you justify that the available data with me is sufficient, to build a machine learning problem? When how do you justify that whether the data I have is sufficient or not?
Again, two things. One is data is not available, and the second thing is the available data is sufficient or not. So here there is we need to draw some data visualization. In exploratory analysis, we give the data set and we create some data visualization. If data is biased towards a certain group or category, and other groups just only nominal presence, then we need to increase data in those areas. Suppose just our data set is representing data from all the continents, all the states from India, and predominantly it is from some Madhya Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, the data is more, and for the rest of the states the data is less. Then we need to populate data for those states. So in this way, we need to balance our data set. Those are called imbalanced data sets. To make balanced data set, to impute more data, or we give extra weightage for the data which having less, so that it will equal to the existing data. So these are the methods, sir.
See again, when we go into data set side, say example, Excel sheet. One column is having many missing values. Okay, then how do you handle this type of cases?
So missing data, first how the missing data will happen is when collecting data, when they are entering manually, they miss certain fields. That is one area. Or suppose the data is not available, that is the second area. So in this way, our data set is populated with missing values. So those missing values, if we are using a numerical column, numerical data, then use mean. Mean means average. So 10 records are there, 4 records missing values, 6 records data available. For those 6 records, you calculate average and replace by using that average value, impute the missing value. Impute in the sense, input the missing value.
Okay. Yeah. See, another thing, when we are calculating average, but some values are very high and some values are very low. If you take any data set, because of your average, not because of that, your average is not representing reality. Then how do you bring that situation into the kind of reality problem statement?
Okay, so when we are replacing with the average, suppose 10 cities rainfall, 4 cities rainfall not available in one city, very heavy rainfall, that will automatically increases your average value. Suppose if zeros are there, that will extremely decreases your value. So there are two ends possible. One is higher side, one is lower side. So after cleaning the data in exploratory data analysis, there is a concept called outliers. The outlier means that particular value is deviating from the regular pattern. Suppose 60 students are there, their mathematics marks, only one of students will get 100 out of 100. And most of the category will fall in between 70 to 80, 85. Because of this one or two students, the class mean will increase. So when we are using this average or mean concepts, these higher values are outliers we need to remove from the calculation. Similarly, downside also, if any student, 4 or 5 students got 0, then average will fall downside. So the extreme two sides outliers we need to remove and calculate the average.
Okay. See, for numerical calculations, for numerical data, average is fine. But with the same problem, if you get with respect to character data, how do you handle it?
For character data, 1 minute, sir. Okay, for numerical data, average will calculate, but in case of characters, we will not calculate any average. So here, any value is repeating more times that we call as a mode. Its particular value is appearing more times. Suppose Asia 100 rows are there, Asia is appearing 60 times. Then there is a probability that for the unfound values also, the probability that Asia can possible value. So in case of character data, we use mode concept. Basically, the which element is repeating, which label is repeating more times, we will replace with that.
Yeah. Now, if you go with a kind of project, can you explain your project which you are currently doing? as part of your academics?
Okay, this project actually we are doing as a it is NLP related, natural language processing related project. So purpose of the project is we from a public domain we extracted this problem. There is a telecom client. That telecom client is operating in the European continent. Okay, so they are into the 4G services, data services, and SMS and everything across the European continent countries. So they want to know how is their service, how the customers are discussing about their service. So where we need to improve or where we need to lagging. So all these things they want to know. So they created a Twitter handler like kind of thing. Basically, it's a Twitter data set. So customers will type will discuss in my area so service is good. The call desk is very poor. So these kind of Twitter messages they type. So the customer requirement is they want to process that text data and divide into different buckets, 6 to 7 buckets. For each bucket means one you can consider as a one service line. Suppose 4G service, 3G service, voice service, data service, that is one bucket. So under one bucket, they categorize service is good, service need to improve, service need to, service is very bad. So the Twitter dataset they take and the process it and finally apply some NLP techniques like clustering algorithm and then sentiment extracted from the data, and finally a part of that the which service is related, sentiment plus service, like data and sentiment is good, bad or worst. So they extract and put in the particular cluster or bucket. Okay, so for each bucket there are 3 categories. So telecom company, what it will do is where it is bad they need to improve, where it is good they put more campaigning and more offers they to retain the customers. So where is it's bad, so to stop the migrating customers from their telecom operator to other telecom, so they're reducing charges using for their ad campaign. So this is the overall project. So basically, it's a telecom customer Twitter data analysis and clustering the sentiment and acting on that.
Yes, I see. As part of our first interaction, we just asked you a question. Data science life cycle. See, have you applied all the phases of the data science life cycle, whatever you have explained in your current project?
Yes, sir. So if you go back to our life cycle, problem statement, that is telecom problem. So establishing the telecom problem questionnaire and everything. So that is we did, and understanding the domain is important because what kind of services they are offering. So what new services they can launch, and cleaning data is also before cleaning data, collecting the data. So Twitter handler from Twitter handler, we collected the data, and cleaning is anyhow we need to do. And after that, model building, and after model building, testing the our data, and finally deploying. So deploying, it's a we did for our we are doing for our internal college purpose. So that deployment, real-time deployment, we are facing bit of difficulty.
Okay. So can you brief one or two cleaning techniques you have applied in your project to clean your test data set?
Okay, so in data science generally, for numerical data, the cleaning process is different because it's a numerical values, numbers. In case of text data, the cleaning process is different. So numerical cases, we have outliers, missing values, values are duplicates, redundancy, few columns are merged. So that kind of things are there. That is a different process. In coming to text data, Twitter, we will not instruct customers or users to type like this. They can type anything. Just they type whatever they feel. they use their own language culture exist in their area, and so different words, their punctuations, again many things are there. Okay, so here many things are there. One is generally if we are collecting data from any files, we need to remove HTML tags are there, header tags and ending tags are there. So those HTML related tags we need to remove. And if we are extracting from Twitter, that Twitter handler name is there, that we not required, that we need to remove. And some punctuations are there, those punctuations are not required. And stop words means that word don't have any significance. Suppose a and was is, sometimes some verbs, those things we need to remove. Sometimes they write just like it's really REALLYYYYY. So like they expressing their feeling in a more stressed way. So stemming and those things we need to do in the text cleaning process.
Okay. See, now let us move into environment and deployment and execution side of data science project. To start with that area, I just want to ask, how do you set up environment for any coding data science project and testing?
Okay, sir. So to set up a data science project, so if you want to do in a just I tried any open source like Google Colabs and other things, and those areas are also available. If you want to do in a system, four major elements we required. One is Anaconda framework, that is Conda framework. So that is around 4 GB, 5 GB, it's there. So we need to, which is free open source. So simply we can download that and download and install. That is the contains all the packages related to data science or NLP, machine learning. All the different packages are there. So that we required. And initially when we are doing project as a team, so everybody is developing their system and sharing or putting in a common folder. So and so date we did these Jupyter notebooks downloading. So we need later we realized we need some version controlling. So we searched for some open source free version controlling tools. Like one is DVC is a free open source tool which is a data version control. Or we can so we started that DVC. So basically what we built is Anaconda packages we required, that entire whole package, and one version control is we required. And on top of that we need editor, that is a Jupyter notebook. So Jupyter notebook will automatically will come with your Anaconda framework. Okay, so these are the basic things which we require. If you want to use any big data and other things, those Hadoop clusters and those things, which I don't have much knowledge as of now.
Okay. Yeah. Once you set up the environment, okay, and then we will go for execution, project execution. Any challenges with respect to project execution with respect to the environment you have set up? With respect to ML and data science project, I am asking.
Okay, so environment setup, sometimes what will happen is the existing memory in the my system or laptop is not supporting that heavy Anaconda framework. So I moved to the, there is a mini Conda is there. So that is one area. And how to integrate as a group we are doing in personal systems, how to integrate the entire project. So that is the one area. And to getting data, because it's a Twitter data, So they're given only sample records initially. Some like for public, they're given only 10,000, 15,000 records, which are not sufficient. So they put some cost tag for their Twitter data set. So that also we purchased kind of thing. So to get the more data. And few libraries concepts which we don't know how to use or to particular problem. Suppose stop words are there, then stop words we don't know what are the how many stop words is available in English language, and any predefined library is there for that. So these kind of operational and executional difficulties and challenges come. So we sort it out one by one. But so it is under process actually.
Okay. Finally, one more question. How do you deploy your data science project?
Okay, so developing a project and finally it will sit in our Python notebooks only, that will not be useful at anyhow. So we need to make this is a production useful like a useful product. So generally we need to writing the Python script. That Python script contains 5 to 6 steps. Step 1 is collecting data, step 2 is cleaning data, step 3 is developing the model, and then step 4 is the after developing we need to train the model, and step 5 is the like a deployment. So this is called a pipeline. We need to prepare Python script for this. So once we give the input data set and we run the Python script, we will finally get the results in a visualization format. So we need to develop a Python script and deploy that Python script. So in a distributed at the enterprise level, if you want to deploy our data science projects, Jupyter providing a Jupyter Enterprise Edition. Jupyter Notebook is a normal one. Jupyter Enterprise Edition is a like it is supports different things. Okay, so that Python script methodology we use for deployment.
Okay. One more question from your answer. I just got strike into my mind. Is it possible to implement your project on any cloud platforms?
Actually,
So any challenges did you face?
right. So actually, when we started as a student, generally when we started doing a data science project, simply download a data set and write a machine learning model, and we get the results that looks very happy at the end of the day. But finally, the projects are to convert, make a useful to the reality, or to make as a product. So we have very these commercial or industry standardized cloud platforms are there. So I started exploring those cloud platforms. We have Google and Microsoft and Amazon. Three are providing AI capabilities, artificial intelligence capabilities. So out of these three, I explored personally Azure and this Google Cloud Platform. So Google Cloud Platform, when we are migrating the project into the Google Cloud Platform, we compare with our data science lifecycle. Anyhow, getting data set is the same in case of we are using GCP or normal process. After that, this cleaning process, Google having predefined libraries. Those libraries automatically check these outliers, automatically check these missing values. So those areas are automated. So we need to learn those automated how to use those kind of API things. So data is input to that API so that it will clean and give the next phase. And also GCP having auto ML, vector ML, and bare metal ML, customized ML, different options are there. So to learn and get that knowledge and how to build our project in the cloud, these are the challenging areas. Just I am exploring those areas.
Okay. Thank you, Sai. That's it from my side from technical point of view. Over to you, Vishal.
Yeah, thank you, Anumant. Thank you, Sai. So it was good. It was really good to know about, Sai, your background, the work you have done for data science and machine learning. Yeah, just, some questions, it may not be so much technical, but yeah, I would like to know your responses there. Okay. See, you have, shared a lot about the steps, the complexity involved in deployment of these projects. Okay. Now, I would like to know from team perspective. Right? Let's say, there is one data science project. So, as a team, how exactly the work was divided? That is first question. And the second question is, let's say, see, when you work in a team for a technical project, uh, a lot has to be shared, a lot has to be shared, a lot of collaboration has to happen. So what different tools you leveraged? If you can answer these two questions.
Okay, the first question is how to share and divide the work in between within a team, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay, so actually we have a 4 members team. So in my college, okay, so the 4 members started working on this data science project. So daily we are conducting a regular meetings. That is one thing, and we are prepared some schedule kind of thing. Okay, we don't have much any project management tools as of now, but just very simple like a Excel sheet and what are the tasks at the very smaller level, what we say in a very granular level, what are the complete tasks we need to do, like
Okay.
so getting a data set, that is a task. Okay, so getting data set is a task, but proper, whether we are getting a proper data set or not, that is a task. Again, proper data set, how to save that data set, where to save, and whom having the access, and other things. So we listed now many tasks in this way. If we divided entire project, we are getting easily it's like 100 more than it's a tasks. So every day we are meeting one thing, and we are like managing a common Excel sheet for our work progress, and we are involved. Everyone is involved in the every phase, so that in future, if any problems are coming, if someone is preparing only data and someone is cleaning, and at end of results is varying, so who we don't know, right? So everyone is involved. So that is a major kind of work distribution. Okay, and the second question which you asked is what are the version, basically how we manage the versions.
Yes.
Right, so initially when starting, one of us starting the doing the some coding, so that it simple, putting in a common folder, end of the day taking a backup. So when the project start growing and everyone is doing, everyone is adding bit of piece, so we have data version controller tool is there, and so we used that one for the tracking the versions, and later we came to know in Jupyter Notebook also it will maintain some version kind of thing, and we are exploring Git also. So in that area also we are focusing it.
Okay, thank you. So that was one thing. Now, so what is your next step now? Let's say data science, machine learning, you have a reasonably good exposure. Okay. So as a next step, are you like going to continue with the data science, machine learning technologies only, or you have some learning like as a in the pipeline, you are also going to explore other technologies? If that is the case, you can share about those technologies also.
Actually, I heard from some seniors or my family relatives or whatever it is. Always we need to stay relevant to the industry trends. What are technologies is coming into the industry? We need to stay and related to the industry required things. But in future, if technology will change, the way they apply technology or methods will change, but data will add and data will not change whatever data is generated. So I want to stay in this area, and next immediate steps is how to build machine learning models or deep learning NLP models in cloud environment, because
Okay.
almost that having more automated features are there. Few tasks will become very easy in the cloud, and everybody, as of my knowledge, many are using in the cloud. So cloud continuation is the one part, and so most of the data is in the data centers are creating. So in data centers, also how, I don't know exactly, but how to use that data. So a lot of unexplored data is there in every organization.
Okay.
So
Okay. Thanks, Sai. So let's say, Sai, 10 years down the road, how do you foresee yourself in your career?
technology, technology is quickly changing.
Okay.
If you previously, if technology is changing in 10 years or 15 years, like some old systems, like they run from 70 to 90, 95, then Java comes into the picture, .NET comes into the picture, SAP comes into the picture. Now, after 2010 onwards, big data, then 2015 onwards, cloud or something. So the evolution of technology, the pace will be that time span reduced. Every 2 years, 3 years, something new thing is coming into the picture. So it is bit difficult to say after 10 years what will happen. But one thing which what I am adapting, I want to stay every time relevant to the trend or relevant to the industry. So after 10 years, if industry, what industry want, I want to do that. But from my heart, I want to it's a data science kind of data science centric, like some you call as a maybe startup or small firm or whatever it is. But finally, I want to revolve around data, because every day data is increasing. That's it.
Yes. Yeah. Sure. Thanks, Sai. Yeah, one last question, Sai. See, this data science, machine learning technologies are very interesting. And as you rightly pointed out, the data is only going to increase. Okay. So as data is going to increase, these technologies will have its own impact, and lot more technologies will emerge in future. But coming to the real scenario, when any candidate is working in a data science project or in a machine learning project in real time, that's a TCS or any IT industry.
Okay.
At times, see, the situation becomes very much, kind of pressurized, where uh, you might have to stretch beyond normal hours. You get my point, right? Let's say a customer is waiting for a lot of analytics data to be shared. That timeline is coming closer and closer.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
And the data, whatever report, whatever analytics we are going to share, lot of business decisions depends on that. So we just cannot delay that timeline. Okay.
Correct.
So that extra stretching beyond the extra hours, right? That is one thing. Second thing, let's say, right now, say for data science project, say you are working with a client who is US based. Okay. And you are supporting from India. So again, you might be supporting during your late evening hours. 6 months down the road, you have another client coming from Singapore or Japan, and you will have to start from early morning hours. Okay.
Right.
So
Right.
do you think like, see, technology interest remains, but this ground scenario
It's a
can
bit of
can have impact on your passion. Let's say if you keep doing these things for day on day basis and year on year basis.
correct.
So yeah, what is your honest opinion about this?
See, honestly speaking, to some extent, we need to accommodate the change. Okay. So if it's beyond our control, right, and it's impacting the our day-to-day life and other things, because there are more opportunities within the same area. There are a huge number of opportunities which can suitable to our other parameters, which can satisfy our other parameters. So till to find such a other opportunity, so without leaving your passion, and at the same time to accommodate the other life activities which are also important, because we are doing the finally job is, it's a part of our life, correct? So
Yes.
okay, so this kind of management, what my knowledge, this kind of management we need to do, but we need to accommodate to and inclusive.
Okay. Yeah, I get your point. And yeah, totally out of this context, Sai, what are your hobbies other than technology and data science?
I was much interested in playing cricket.
Okay.
I'm a district level player in under 14.
Oh, great. Okay.
And next, I'm also very good in chess also.
Excellent.
Okay. And I have a habit of writing scripts also. Okay, I stopped now.
Okay. Okay.
Scripts and write and reading and traveling, exploring. Traveling is a very regular passion. Okay.
Okay. So that means if you tomorrow if you join TCS and we would like to offer you a job where you have to travel across, you will be passionate about that, right?
Right.
Okay, great. Okay, thank you, Sai. I'm done. Any questions for Hanumant and me from your side before we close the interview?
So, what is your feedback on technical aspects?
Okay.
Where you find need improvement and other things?
Yeah. So, Hanumant, you want to share about technical?
Yes, Vishal. See, one thing as per the conversation I had with Sai, you are good at concepts and application with respect to the applications, but what I feel is, you can concentrate bit on, showcasing your talent in a larger group, like, by participating more into the coding challenges platforms,
Okay,
such
sir.
kind of thing. Okay, that is one area you can improve. And second thing, yeah, see, nowadays data managing this type of data is not that easy. So we need to more, we request you to explore more into the cloud platforms for this type of, data science related projects.
Right.
Yeah. And third thing I noted from our interaction is, see, when we are storing our sensitive data in cloud platforms, right? So
Right.
how we need to target more, how to safeguard techniques to safeguard your data. At the same time, techniques and kind of best practices you are following to take backup of your data. Okay, you need to concentrate bit more on this as well, because ultimate goal, data is high, upper hand when compared to anything. So sometimes, data you are losing, or sometimes data is, unauthorized access. So that's what I'm just informing you to think about some techniques to safeguard, and as well as to have backup of your data when you are working on cloud related platforms where you know that there is no control.
Okay, sir.
These are the areas I just observed from your from our interaction. Apart from that, I didn't observe, other things. You are good at.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks, Anumant. Sai, on the MR round, yeah, definitely. See, I was looking at the flexibility aspect, right? And see, you were very honest. Okay, like I did not see any response where you were just trying to make up the answer to please the MR panel or the interview panel, right? So that is something. So that is something we really appreciate. Okay. Next, see, again, your answer to the question that, okay, 10 years down the road, it was very practical answer. Nobody can predict anything, what is going to happen in technology field over 10 years. Even 2 years now, these days, nobody can predict. Okay.
Right.
But yes, you know, the answer what you said, that you will continue, and your learning curve was the main thing you are going to focus. So this is really what, you know, we really look from the candidates. Okay. Teamwork, the way, you know, you said the work was defined, when you said that, you know, you did not have any tool, but you just maintained some Excel. Now I'm just switching, you know, I'm now responding this to our audience, not to you. So dear students, see, when you are appearing for interview, let's say, you know, when Sai was sharing that we used to maintain something in an Excel file. You can show that Excel file to the panel. If the interview is virtual, you can show it right away, correct? You can carry such artifacts, printed documents with you if you are going for in-person interviews, correct? So just, you know, see, this is, interview is not a viva kind of thing. It is an interaction, right? So just, you know, be ready to express as much you can. Okay, that's something for you know, the audience here listening to us today. But yeah, overall, Sai, it was really good flexibility when, you know, your answer that you will definitely adapt to the situation, whether it is US based client or you know, our Eastern geography client. That also was right now. So guys, I hope you have a good idea of this digital interview. See, this was digital interview. Yeah. Yes,
Vishal,
Sai, you have something?
Vishal, I have last two questions. Okay. So,
Yeah, please go ahead.
what is the expectation from a new joinee in TCS? Like
Okay.
a code intensive, or that is one thing. And suppose if I selected for TCS, my second question, from completing my graduation to join in the TCS, I will get some ample amount of time. So, how effectively I can utilize that time?
Sure. Thanks. Sai. I was actually coming to that. See, candidates joining TCS, we expect only two things. Number one, please accept whatever project and technology is assigned to you to start with your career. Okay, don't come with any choice upfront that I will work only in Java, I will work only in data science, I will work only in machine learning. Okay. So let's say, you know, Sai has a background of data science and machine learning. We will try best to map his expertise in right project. But we never know how the business scenario will completely change. Because see, your interview is conducted today, your joining in TCS will happen in next month, next year, May or June timeframe. So we have almost 10 months to go. So business scenario can change. Okay. So that is one thing. And second thing is, whatever is your passion for learning, please continue that. Because if once you join in TCS, you have so many learning channels which you can leverage, and you can keep building your expertise. Okay. In fact, see this, any associate joining at ninja level, you will also get lot of opportunities to upgrade into digital. Okay. And yes, as Sai has mentioned, that there is ample amount of time before joining. So guys, once your offer is rolled out, we have one foundation learning program called TCS Explore. You will be enrolled in TCS Explore. There are foundation technologies like Java, Python, .NET. There are other, you know, almost 50 plus advanced technology courses are there, which you can choose whatever you want to learn. Okay. Coming to foundation technologies, there will be proctored assessments. If you clear those assessments, you get a real good joining incentive as well, right? So target on that foundation completion before you join TCS. All right. Once you are in, yes, your passion, whatever you want to learn, be passionate, keep learning. But don't correlate these two things. See, at times Your project may be in different technology, your passionate learning is in different technology. That is perfectly fine. Okay. See guys, as I told that Sai and Hanumant both, are very senior members in our team. See, over last so many years, they have themselves groomed into so different vast technologies. Okay, if you say Hanumant, now Hanumant is our technology expert in C++, Java, Python, okay, and advanced Python and so many other frameworks, right? Likewise, Sai Kumar, yeah, you host just now today you have seen his interview on data science, machine learning. He is our mainframes expert. He is really good in Java and web. He is good in Python. Okay, right? And see, this expertise what we bring is like we can share this. We can support any projects in these technologies, and that's the unique thing about TCS. Okay, nobody will stop you from learning whatever you want, and then just on the basis of your learning, you get lot more opportunities, not only in projects, but even to get that incentive in your salary component, right? Those things are there. Okay, so yes, to answer your question, I have covered in a larger perspective here.
Yes, Risha. Thank you.
Sure, thanks. All right, guys, so that's all. And as I when I started this session, I have shared, please go through the videos on digital preparation steps and Ninja preparation steps. You will come to know a lot more about the expectations. And finally, coming to technical interview, many times what happens, the way the interview progresses, students tend to get little bit of fear that, okay, so much of questions are asked. Okay, don't take it that way. See, interview will start with some technology and panelist would ask questions till you're assessing, the intention is to assess the depth of your knowledge. Correct? So here, yes, Sai is coming to us with years of expertise in data science and Python, and that's why the technical depth was so much. But if you notice one thing, every answer that Sai has given was purely coming from the practical things he has done. These answers were not coming from any theory book or any mugged up concepts. So that is the key. Do lot more hands-on in the technologies which you are learning, because more hands-on you will do, you will enjoy giving answers in this interview, right? If you only limit yourself to theory, you will have to recollect a lot and those answers will not come down naturally. All right, guys. Yeah, so any concluding remarks from Hanumant and Sai for our audience today?
So my request is, whatever technical concept you are learning, sit in front of the system and try to execute by your own and see the output.
Exactly. Yes.
Initially, it will for non-CS, you have many ideas, okay? In brain, many thoughts, non-CS, triple mechanical, so I can do. Leave those things aside. Just try to execute simple program. Welcome to C. See the output. That will give enough confidence to you. Okay, slowly you can learn the things. Only execute. In mathematics, one saying, when we do more maths than only we learn. Similarly in coding also, type whatever it is. Okay, so you get a lot of errors. Okay, but try to solve those errors. So slowly one day you will become very comfort in doing coding.
One more thing I just want to add to the audience. See, whenever you are learning a concept, okay, see, think in multiple ways, like what is this concept and where to apply. And at the same time, we have to practice the concept, whatever you are learning, and with its applications towards the given requirement. So once you start working like that, then you will be in a position to apply the concept you learned whenever you face any problem statement. Example, sometimes you try in this way also. Always don't try to write the solution. Try to create question itself yourself with respect to the concept you learned. then you will become very good actually. Because always students try to implement the solution for the question given by someone else. But you create the question yourself which is suitable for that concept. Then your knowledge levels will be very peak and you never forget that concept. This is one of the important thing we learned from some of our trainees wherever they are working. So this kind of best practice you can also do. Then you will become very good with respect to concept and applying the concept towards the given requirement.
Yeah, excellent point, Hanumant. See, learning the concept and trying to create questions ourselves, right? Where and how I can apply this concept. Let us create a question ourselves and try to solve that. Okay, that is excellent, right? Yeah, so guys, thank you very much. There are a few more questions, but we have a lot more engagements coming up in next week also. All right, and so we'll take up more questions there. We are already crossing our time today. That's why I'm not taking more questions. If your friends could not join today, we will share recording for this question. And next week we are having 3 such simulations. So just stay tuned for all the communications which you are receiving, and please join those sessions as well. All right. So thank you, Sai. Thank you, Anumant. All of you have a great evening and a great weekend. I'm closing the call. Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
Same to you. Thanks, sir.